Nestled on the northwestern shore of the Sea of Galilee, Magdala is a site where silence has given way to revelation. For centuries, it was just a name mentioned briefly in the Gospels, a small fishing village home to a woman who would become one of the most faithful followers of Jesus. But then, the ground was opened, and Magdala spoke again. In 2009, while preparing to build a pilgrimage center just outside the modern city of Magdala, construction workers uncovered something completely unexpected: a first-century town preserved beneath layers of earth. What they found changed the conversation around biblical archaeology. It wasn't just pottery or foundations. It was a town that had been perfectly placed in time, when Jesus walked the land and Mary Magdalene called this place home. The most important discovery was a synagogue, one of the oldest ever uncovered in Israel, and certainly one of the most significant. Until this find, very few synagogues from the Second Temple period had been discovered, and none quite like this. The Magdala Synagogue featured elaborate mosaic floors, vibrant frescoes, and at its center, a carved stone now known as the Magdala Stone. This stone holds an incredibly rare relief of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, including what appears to be the menorah itself. The details carved into it suggest that the people of Magdala had not only religious devotion but also an artistic and spiritual connection to the heart of Jewish worship. Archaeologists were stunned by the detail and preservation. The synagogue would have been active during the time of Jesus. This means there's a strong possibility that Jesus himself taught here, especially since Magdala lies along the ancient road that connected Nazareth, Capernaum, and other key sites in Jesus' Galilean ministry. Unlike other synagogues mentioned only in Scripture, here is one you can walk into, stand inside, and feel the physical continuity of faith across millennia. And then there's Mary Magdalene. Often misunderstood, she is one of the most important figures in the New Testament. She was there when Jesus was crucified, she was there when he was buried, and she was the first to witness his resurrection. Her story begins here, in Magdala. To walk through the streets unearthed by archaeologists is to imagine her life, to feel the stones she may have walked on, and to understand that greatness often comes from humble places. Magdala wasn't a large city, it was a fishing village, active and economically strong, known for its salted fish, which were traded across the Roman Empire. The mikvaot, ritual purification baths, found at the site are astonishingly well-preserved and numerous. This suggests that the town had a strong Jewish identity, deeply rooted in tradition and community life. These baths are unique in another way. They're the only ones found with a direct connection to flowing groundwater, fulfilling the strict religious requirement for living water. Today, beside these ancient ruins stands the Duke in Altum Spiritual Center, a name taken from Jesus' instruction in Luke 5:4, "Put out into the deep." The center is a place of modern worship, designed to complement the archaeology around it rather than overshadow it. Its centerpiece is a boat-shaped altar, appearing to float on the water in the encounter chapel, which lies directly on the stone floor of the first-century marketplace. This allows visitors to pray and reflect in the exact spot where Magdala's people once bought and sold, fished, walked, and lived. It's not just a nod to history, it's a powerful, immersive return to the roots of the Christian faith. Within the Duke in Altum, you'll find the Women's Atrium, one of the few places in the world dedicated solely to honoring the women of the Bible. 8 marble pillars surround the room, 7 representing women like Mary Magdalene, Mary of Nazareth, and Martha, and the 8th standing for all women of faith throughout history. Their stories are not often told in full, but here, they're honored with dignity and permanence. The blend of sacred history and spiritual presence is what makes Magdala so unique. It's not just about looking at ancient stones, it's about feeling the heartbeat of a place where something eternal was set into motion. Visitors come from all over the world to encounter something deeper. A moment of silence that speaks volumes. A place that affirms faith not through grandeur, but through authenticity. Magdala reminds us that what was once forgotten can be remembered, that those who were overlooked can be celebrated, and that the land still holds stories waiting to rise from the dust. It is both a return and a revelation, bringing us closer not only to the people of the past, but to the message they carried forward. If you want to keep uncovering sacred places like this, where the Gospels come to life through stone, scripture, and spirit, make sure to subscribe. Because the journey through the Holy Land is far